this is the Wix Studio Wix SEO product drops for 2023. We are going to talk about all of the product drops that we have done for SEO during the last year. The team have been incredibly busy. We've worked with some amazing partners. We have done some really cool stuff. I say we, but the people who've actually been running that are going to be telling you about that in just a moment. So we have the fantastic, the incredible Mordy Oberstein, who's here, my webinar co-host in chief, as always.
Hello, great to be here.
Always good to have you. And we are also here with the head of SEO product, Inat Hubian-Siebold. Say hello, Inat.
Hi.
And we are also here with SEO product manager extraordinaire, Shira Amit.
Hey guys, lovely to be here.
We're so happy to have you both. So thank you so much for joining us. These two are some of the folks who are behind some of our most fantastic SEO tools and SEO innovations in the last year, in the last few years. They are part of a team of many, many folks. How many people are in the team overall, would you say? I know the Slack channel is like over 100.
We are almost 30 in the core team.
In the core team, and then there's lots of folks working in customer service, and there's folks working in marketing, and there's folks working on lots of folks doing all of that stuff. And these wonderful folks help us to keep everything going. So just to do a little bit of housekeeping for this session, we are going to be recording this webinar. So if you see something really cool and you think, oh, I want to go back and check that out, that's great. You can go back on the YouTube channel. All of our webinars will be posted onto the YouTube channel, so you can go and check those out there. You will be sent the link to the YouTube channel just in case you want to go straight to it in the email that you will receive after the webinar. And you can also ask questions in the Q&A. We have a team of folks who will be trying to answer your questions as quickly as we can during the webinar. But if we see some trends with the questions, then we will also answer them in the session as well, where as much as we can. So do warm up some of the questions there. Keep the chat going lively, and we are going to get started very soon going into this session. So now I'm going to pass this over to Inat and Shira, who are going to tell you about all of the cool stuff that we've done in the last year.
Thank you.
Quick, by the way, on the Q&A, since I'm the Q&A manager, we're going to be answering questions about the Wix product and how to use the Wix product for SEO. This is not an SEO session per se. So while the things that we're going to talk about do touch on SEO, we're not going into how to do SEO like we normally do. This is about the actual Wix product and using the Wix product to do SEO. Okay, sorry, I'm done.
Thanks, Mordy. As Mordy mentioned, today we are going to cover the latest SEO product releases at Wix. We will get a glimpse of our plans for 2024, and at the end, we will have the Q&A session. So let's start. It has been a meaningful year of product development for Wix SEO team, and we are very excited to recap on the latest additions and updates to our products. So let's dive in. The first feature I want to talk about is one of our latest releases. Just a month ago in September, we released it, is Index Now. It was a release as part of a partnership with Bing. Index Now is a protocol that can notify participating search engines like Bing about changes that happen on your web page, almost in real time, which can improve the time until new indexation happens. And when I say changes, I mean a new page that was added, updated content or deleted page, everything new that you did on the site, Index Now protocol will be notified. This is a significant change from how you usually wait for search engines to call your site and identify content changes before it can show up in relevant search results, which can take days or even weeks, as you probably know, as the search engine doesn't frequently call the old URLs. So now with Wix Index Now integration, you can dramatically reduce the time between publishing a change and indexation, and your content can compete in the search results sooner. The Index Now integration is available to Wix Premium users, and the great thing about it is that everything happens automatically. You don't need to do anything. Without the need for you to submit or do any changes, we do it for you. We identify once a change has been made on your site, we notify Index Now protocol about it, which in its turn update the relevant search engines. So far, by the way, there are more than 300,000 URLs that were submitted to IndexNow protocol and got indexed, which is amazing. Another big feature that we worked on in the SEO dashboard that was released in the beginning of 2023. If you've been around with Wix, you know that a year ago, you only had the SEO tools. Now with the new SEO dashboard, you still have the SEO tools, but so much more. The new dashboard introduced a better way to manage your SEO and take it to the next step of understanding on what to do next. You can now track your site performance on Google with the integrated Google Search Console insight, access all of the SEO tools, and get tailored guidance right from the dashboard. So let's see what the dashboard includes. At the bottom of the dashboard, you have all the SEO tools that you probably know and you need, the site map, redirect manager, site inspection, and a lot of other tools. On the right side, you will see our education widget, in which you can find SEO articles tailored for you. It's based on how you use our SEO tools and your site performance. Those are all articles from our SEO Hub that contains content about everything you need to know about SEO, and it's in general, not just regarding Wix. You can find there articles that has been written by the best SEO professionals out there. There's videos and so much more, so I really strongly recommend you check it out. Next to it, you will have the site performance on Google section. This will show you the data on your site straight from Google Search Console. You can see here impressions and click and the changes compared to previous period. Let's see how it works. Okay, so I can see here the performance data of my site and the selected period. I can, of course, change the period of time that I want to look at. I can see the impression that my site got, meaning how many times it appears in search results, and the clicks of my site. Under the graph, I can see insight of the most meaningful changes that has happened for pages and queries, the increase and the decreases filtered by impression or clicks. This will make it easier for you to identify potential irregularities, which should help you troubleshoot issues faster. Second. Technicality issues. Okay. If you've had an issue or want to investigate in a more thorough way, you will find at the bottom of each report the See Full Report link, which I marked here. This will lead you to a full detailed report created directly from Google Search Console data to get deeper understanding of your site presence on search. So those are the reports that you will find there. We have 4 reports from Google Search Console data. They are focused on page and queries performance from different perspectives, and you can perform deep analysis based on the certain keyword or a page. You can filter by device type, by geolocation, and a lot of other filters. And those reports are accessible via the SEO dashboard, like I showed you from our widget, or you can access them directly from Analytics and Reports in the left navigation menu and find them under the SEO Report section. Okay, so let's move on to one of our biggest and most meaningful releases this year, the SEO Assistant. As I mentioned before, in 2023, we focused on how to help our users take the next steps in SEO. We know that identifying issues on the site is one of the most time-consuming tasks you have, and let alone knowing what you should do next. That's why we built the SEO Assistant that is meant to guide you through the SEO process. Now, remember the name SEO Assistant because you will hear it and see it in a lot of other places. So you can find the SEO Assistant at the top of the dashboard. First, on the left, you will see the SEO setup checklist. One second, I see that you don't see it with me. Okay. So you can see on the left the SEO setup checklist process like you know it, and on the right of it you will see the overview of SEO related issues and accommodation on a site level view. You can easily fix issues on the spot and follow the guidelines to improve your page content, structure, and SEO presence. For example, these tools will notify you if an important page is set to no index. Okay. We'll remind you to perform a site inspection if it's been a while, or connect to Google Business Profile if you are a local business. Let's see how it works. Okay, I can see here the overview that I have 3 issues and 1 accommodation. Let's click on view tasks. Here I see all my issues and they are arranged by priority. You can also filter the list by task type. For example, if I click here, I can choose to see only the issues. I can also filter the task by priority or sort it by task type. Here I see that one of my mission is that my entire site is set to no index. So I can just open this task, turn the toggle on, click apply, and it will turn my indexation on for my entire site. And you see the task is green and completed. I see also that I'm missing five icon. It's important because it appears in the search results and in the browser tab. So I can just click upload image, choose the image that I want, add it to the page, click apply. You see it's added, you can click apply, and that's it. Also, the issue is solved. Now you can see that the list is updating dynamically. And so now I have only 1 issue and 1 recommendation, and I can continue working on this list. Another functionality that this tool offers is the skip function. So if you find a task that isn't relevant for you, you can easily skip it. Just click on the 3 dots and click skip task. Once you click on it, once the task is skipped, it will move to the completed task, but it will be marked a bit differently. You can see it when I scroll down. You see, it's a bit different than the full green. But of course, you can always unskip the task if you want to by setting it as an issue again. Okay, so this is the site level SEO assistant tool. You can see it whenever we can, we try to help you solve issues on the spot. And in some cases, we will send you to the relevant place, but we will guide you through the process. All in all, we see that it's really helps users fix critical issues on their site. For example, the task that I showed you before about the site being no index, which I'm sure we can all agree is quite critical if I want my page to be found. So this task has 94% completion rate, meaning that a lot of users saw it and a lot of them completed it. So we see and we know that it's very helpful for our users. It's important also to say that we see this tool as your hand-in-hand assistant, meaning that it's not one-timer tool. It's a tool that will always audit your site and will always be updated and notify you when something has changed and need your attention. So I strongly encourage you to come back to the SEO dashboard and see what's new. We also plan, of course, in the future to add more issues that we cover and surface and provide smart, actionable insights using AI and data analysis. So it's going to get even better. Okay, so this was the SEO assistant on a site level. We also have the same tool also on a page level that helps you optimize specific pages. So I'll move on to Shira that will introduce you to the page level SEO assistant tool.
Amazing. Thank you, Einat. So as Einat just mentioned, beyond existing in your SEO dashboard, our SEO assistant also sits in our SEO panels. Our SEO panels exist in every Wix app, blogs, stores, bookings, etc. Now, the SEO panel assistant, it centralizes your on-page SEO efforts and allows you to easily audit and fix SEO-related issues. Similarly to the SEO assistant in the dashboard, it provides you with a list of tasks broken down by priority, and it clearly indicates whether you've implemented these recommendations. On the top, if you look, you see that we have an overview section that gives you a glance of how your page is doing. As you progress through your tasks, and Einat, can you click the next screen? You can see that the overview changes and reflects your progress. Below it, you see all of your tasks, which also allow you to fix your issues directly from the panel. And finally, in the bottom of the panel, we have an integration with Google's URL inspection tool, which gives you additional insights about your page. After inspecting your site, you can see whether Google indexed your page or not, and if it didn't, then what's the reason that it didn't index it. So let's see what it looks like. Can you click play? Awesome. Great, so I'm in my blog now. I'm going to open my SEO assistant, and because my blog is about quinoa salad, it's a recipe, I'm going to choose a quick quinoa salad to be my keyword. Once I select the keyword, my tasks are automatically updated and I have now additional tasks that are related to the keyword. I see that my title tag isn't completed or doesn't include my keyword, so I'm going to add that there. And voila, it's immediately fixed and reflected in the panel. I also see that my keyword isn't in my blog's title, so I'm going to quickly update that as well. And I see that the panel updates automatically. So far, the SEO Assistant has been a hit with nearly 600,000 tasks being completed by our users. It's currently available in the panel for blog, for stores, and for bookings. In the next year, we're going to also expand it to additional Wix apps, and we're going to enrich it with additional tasks. Great. Oh, I see that we have technical difficulties here. Okay, I'm going to talk, maybe not. Okay. So the next thing that I'm very excited to share, which is actually coming soon. So integrated both inside the SEO Assistant panel as well as in our SEO Setup Checklist is our integrated keyword research tool. We know that it can be really hard to find the right keywords for your site, which is why we partnered with some of the best apps to help you with your research. Last year, we added SEMrush as our first integration, and we're very, very happy to announce that next week we will be releasing our second partnership with SE Ranking. In addition to giving you access to research keywords right inside of our apps, SE Ranking also has an app in the Wix app market that gives you a full suite of tools, including researching organic and paid traffic, as well as competitor insights. So that's really something to look forward to. This is about this. Great. Okay. So another feature that we released, if you can see it behind the slightly grayed out image, is our site hierarchy feature. This has been a much awaited tool. We opened it a few months ago. It exists in the editor panel in both the Studio and the Classic editor, and it's already been used by 500,000 websites. Through the site hierarchy feature, you can easily select a parent-child relationship between different pages on your site and reflect this relationship in your site's URLs. Once you select a page, we automatically create a 301 redirect for you to help you keep your SEO's authority and ensure that your traffic will be redirected to the correct URL. Soon, we're also going to be reflecting this hierarchy in the breadcrumbs component in Studio, so you have one centralized area to reflect your site's hierarchy. Great. Now, this feature that I'm going to talk about, it's a bit more for users that have a large or a complex site. You might be familiar with Wix dynamic pages. They're also called CMS. They're also called Content Manager. Not sure how you know it. Which is basically a feature or a tool that gives you the ability to create websites that can efficiently handle a large amount of content while maintaining a consistent design and user experience. Until now, the dynamic pages feature had limited SEO capabilities and required the use of Velo code for further customization. We're really happy to share that we significantly expanded its SEO capabilities, giving you full SEO customization that you have for all other Wix apps. You can now define custom structured data markup based on your collection fields, or you can customize your page's social share settings, and so much more. The feature is currently available to new CMS users, but we're soon starting the migration for older CMS users so that in the next few weeks, everyone would be able to get this full suite of SEO functionalities. Great. So I'm going to move to talk about bulk editing. A recap from last year, we introduced a feature called Edit by Page. It's a new section inside the SEO settings, and it's a tool that gives you easy access to our SEO panels for all of your pages at once. This year, we significantly expanded it, and now it's available for most Wix apps. In addition, we also added a new experience that's available in your editor pages and in your blog posts that gives you the ability to take bulk actions for each of your pages. So let's see what that looks like. Einat, if you can go, let's see a video. So I'm in my SEO settings. I'm going to go to my main pages, and I'm going to go to the Edit by Page. So as I mentioned, I can see all of my pages from the editor, and I can edit any of their SEO settings, either one by one, or I can take bulk actions. So let's say I have my four For pages that I don't want to index, I'm going to set them to block indexing. And at once, this action is taken and has saved me the hassle of going one by one. Now, let's say I also decided that I don't really like my meta descriptions. I wrote them individually for some, but they're not relevant, and I just want to revert them to the default pattern that I have. I can revert to default, and now they have been updated. Great. Another feature that we released is we've made some improvements to the SEO setup checklist. We're going to talk a bit about improvements that we made, but I mainly want to talk about some exciting features that are coming up. So one of the things that we did was fix some issues that you don't have to go to the editor to update them, but rather that they can be fixed directly from the context of the setup checklist. For example, for your title tag and meta description tasks, until now the changes that you made weren't published. And now once you save a new title tag or meta description, your changes are automatically published, so you don't have to go to the editor to do it. Another upcoming feature that we know, one of the biggest challengers or the most difficult tasks to fix inside the setup checklist is going to the editor and adding alt text to all of your images. So in the next few weeks, we're going to be adding a functionality that allows you to add all the alt text at once. Ina, can you click next for a second? So basically what it's going to look like is that you're going to have go back. Great. So basically you're going to have a modal that shows you all of the images that you need to add and the option to add alt text right in the context of the setup checklist. You click apply and it's all right there. And as a next phase to it, in early next year, we're going to also allow you to create alt text with AI. And in that way, in the click of a button, you'd have alt text for all of your images for every page. And I am super excited to talk to you about one of our newest features, which is the AI meta tag creator, which we released just last month. We know that every page on your website should have an optimized title tag and meta description that entices users to click through. And we know that manually optimizing these meta tags across hundreds of thousands of web pages can be tedious and challenging. So our AI meta tag creator creates 3 optimized title tags and meta description suggestions based on your site and page content without any work on your end. Let's see what that looks like. So I'm in my page and I want to create a meta description. I just click create with AI and I get 3 suggestions that I can choose from. I can either choose one or I can decide to refine my results. Let's say I want to add that I'm having a 20% off sale. So I'm just going to update that in the description. I can also change my tone of voice and I can click create and I get 3 new suggestions that now have all of the updated fields that I wanted. I click apply and I am done. I'm super excited to share that this has been a hit and that so far this feature 85% of users that have clicked create with AI have ended up using one of our suggestions, which speaks to the fact that it has been very helpful so far. And back to you, Einat.
Thank you, Shira.
I just wanted to jump in. Those are amazing. I also just want to say, like, people in the chat are going wild for all of these things. Like I've got, that's awesome. This is a revelation. So cool. I love this. This is so nice. And I just wanted to jump in quickly because I've got the video for the SE ranking one that I thought, can I share that before we move on to the future ones? Is that okay?
Sure. Yes.
If you stop sharing, I'll just share it and you can explain it, Shira. Just a second. Sharing now. Okay, it's just wrapping up. Okay, so this is from the beginning.
Great. So I'm going to share for a second. Let's say I want to get help choosing the right keyword. Now I have 2 options. I could choose between SEMrush and SE ranking. I chose SE ranking. I'm going to install it. Now let's say my blog post is about lifestyle. So I'm going to look for the keyword for lifestyle blog. When I click analyze, what's going to happen is I'm going to get a few keyword options. I can see their volume, their trend, how difficult it would be to rank for, and what the searcher intent is. I can select a keyword, click apply, and voila, it's ready for me to use.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Crystal.
So we'll move back onto the future plans. But yeah, it's a great tool. It's great to have SEMrush and SE ranking both in there, so that you can get lots of insights on your keyword research as you're creating your blogs and your other pages.
Okay, so thank you, Shira, and Crystal, and I'm glad to hear that everyone are excited as we are. It has been a great year for Wix with lots of big, meaningful abilities that we added, and we are planning to keep on doing great things. Okay, so let's talk a bit about our future plans. So the first thing that we're going to work on is the account level kind of perspective. I know that a lot of you are probably partners and a lot of you manage more than one site. So in 2024, we are going to tackle the account level features to help the ones of you who manage a group of sites. We will add an option to connect your sites to Google in bulk and release an account level overview of all your site with SEO insights and notification, just to help you manage all your sites that you're working on. I see it has moved. Okay. We are going to enlarge and empower all of our SEO assistant tools that we showed you, the site level one and the per page one, with more issues and recommendation, add insight and smart action, and add it to more Wix apps. Another thing that we're going to work on is AI, of course. Other than what we showed you, we're going to do a lot of more integration with AI in our SEO tools. Based on data that we have as a platform and data analysis models. So stay tuned, it will get interesting as well. Okay, something else that we're gonna work on is professional editing experience. We're gonna even improve the editing experience. Like here I showed you, we have the edit by page, which can help you edit things in bulk. So we're going to take it a bit to the next level, and we are going to add abilities to export and import all your SEO data. So you could, for example, export all your SEO data to a CSV, for example, edit everything there, and then upload it back to the platform, and everything will just align to the right places. And one other thing that we will want to tackle is the multilingual world. We want to improve our SEO multilingual offering. We will have a multilingual sitemap, the ability to localize your slug per language, and the ability to redirect per languages, meaning you can really control all your multilingual assets. So this was just a glimpse of our 2024 SEO focuses that we are planning to achieve. And that's it. So first of all, thank you, everyone, for joining us and taking part in this. And we will move now to the Q&A session.
Thank you both so much. And thank you to everyone who's been engaging in the chat and in the Q&A as well. I just want to give a shout out. We will send you, so a few people have been saying, oh, I've got to dash off to a work call or that sort of thing. We're going to get to our Q&A now. But if you would like to watch it again, then again, it's going to be on the YouTube channel. And also, we will also send you this deck so you can have a look at some of these things in a bit more detail. And in the deck, we also have links to the Wix SEO Learning Hub, where we have lots of full product breakdowns of how all of these work. George Wynn, who's a head of SEO editorial, has been working on some of these, for instance, for the AI meta tag creator. And Mordy Oberstein, who's going to be hosting the Q&A in just a moment, has also written a lot of these. So do have a look through there, and there's a couple for me as well around. Do have a look through the links on the deck to get more details and more sort of product deep dives on how you can use these to get great SEO results. And with that, I think if we can stop sharing there, Inat. I think Mordy's got some questions. Have you got some questions?
I have a lot of questions to get to. Before I do, little plug, but it does tie into what we're talking about here. We get into a lot of the releases and a lot of the learning around SEO on the SEO Learning Hub. You can stay updated automatically by subscribing to our newsletter, Searchlight, which comes out once a month. And we also run through SEO on our podcast and how to use SEO tools like SEMrush and SEO ranking and our own Wix tools on our podcast, SERPs Up. So marketers going to market, but it does make sense to market it because it does actually help you learn more about SEO and how to use our own tools. With that, where do I start? Let's start with Index Now, because we started off with Index Now. I think there was a little bit of confusion about what is the benefit of Index Now. By the way, it only pertains to Bing, Naver, and Yandex, but mainly Bing, just for practical purposes. Google has not adopted Index Now. But Einat or Shira, why do I care about Index Now?
Okay, why do you care? So right now, if you do any changes on your website, you need to wait for the search engines to come back to your site, call your site, and notify that something has changed, and then index those changes. It takes time. Sometimes it takes days, sometimes it takes weeks. Really depends on how big your site and how much traffic you have and on the search engines. So with Index Now, the benefit of it is that you call the search engines. You tell them, hey, something has changed and I want you to come and index this again. So instead of waiting for them to come and identify what has been changed and in what page exactly, you just tell them, I changed this page, please call it again and index it. So it can save you a lot of time until you get your new content to be indexed.
Yeah, and the great thing is you don't, as a user, need to do anything. It's all handled on the back end automatically. You make the changes, Wix will let Bing know, Bing will come, Bing will crawl. Of course, the content quality needs to be up to par for them to actually index the content. Crawling, meaning Google, or in this case, Bing, coming to read the page, doesn't always equal them indexing it. The content quality does need to be there. One overarching question that I've seen in a few ways is, what's the difference between Wix and SEO versus Wix Studio for SEO, or is there a difference?
So there is no difference actually in terms of SEO. You have all the capabilities that you have until now, you have them in Wix Studio. So nothing is missing and it's all out there, and Wix Studio is so great. So regardless of SEO.
We like to democratize SEO and keep SEO the same. I think the only maybe difference is the Wix Studio editor or product is AI responsive for mobile, right. Where the Wix, but sure. Not intrinsically, it needs to be mobile friendly and mobile ready, but you can do that on both. It's just one is responsive and one is adaptive.
And I think also a lot of the product updates that we've done this year have been around making sure that you can do lots of things on the dashboard without necessarily having to go between the dashboard and the editor. And the dashboard of Wix Studio is pretty much the same as the dashboard from an SEO perspective as the dashboard from Wix Classic. On the editor side, though, some of the things that you would do to optimize your content might be a little bit different. So for instance, where you see whether or not something is a header or a paragraph, those sorts of tags, those are a little bit different. So you just need to get more familiar with the CMS. But in terms of the updates, it's my understanding we're rolling out updates across both platforms as they're coming out.
Okay, so I try to thematically organize the questions, and there were a few questions. I know we said we're not going to get into SEO exactly, but it kind of touches on it. One concern was, is Google basically trying, or does Google trust AI written content? If I'm using the AI meta tags generator to write, let's say my title tags, will that be favorably looked upon by the great Google gods?
So I think like everything, it depends, right? But basically you have the result and you need to take your own judgment and see if the result makes sense or not. It's AI, it can do all sorts of things. Usually that we see that the results do make sense, but we always allow you to select an option and then edit it accordingly to make sure that it fits your business. And we encourage everyone to look at the results and make sure that they make sense and edit them accordingly to make sure that it is helpful and not just content.
Right.
I want to add to this, to what Shira said, that we can easily, when we develop the AI feature, we can easily made it like as a magic button, just click here and all your AI title tags and everything will be magically done. But we didn't want to do it because we believe that you have to go over the AI suggestion. You have to make sure that it fits you, that it makes sense. If you want to edit them a bit, you can. So it was very important for us that it wouldn't be something like AI automatically generated, and then maybe Google wouldn't like it.
Yeah, and also cool. You can select the tone that you want, so it's not just a matter of okay, like the keyword and the ranking, but it's if for a title tag which can appear on Google's result page. What kind of tone do you want your audience to hear that would stimulate a click or just be on brand tone? By the way, Google's official line has been they're not targeting AI content in specific. They only are looking for high and low quality content. So it's not an issue of AI or not AI, it's an issue of high or low quality. Personally, I would be more concerned about the content and quality issue, not in the title tag per se, but more if you're using, let's say, the Wix text creator or the AI text creator on your pages, and you're generating actual body content or body text, you know, they're really go through and make sure that the AI is specific and it's as nuanced as you as a human will want to be. Speaking about algorithms and Google, there was a question. This one is for Crystal.
Okay.
I'll just read it here. As you know, Google and other search engines are constantly updating their algorithms. We just finished today the November 2023 core update. The November 2023 reviews update is still live. How recent are your SEO education articles? And are they labeled with dates written updated so we can know how current a given article is?
Yeah, so all of our our articles are updated. One of the other things that's really useful is that within Wix, if you use the blog tool, the structured data automatically updates. So every time you update a blog, your structured data will update with the last time that it was published. So if you have a tool, I use the SEO Pro Chrome extension. You can see then you can do this on any Wix website. You can see exactly when it was last updated. We update things as recently as possible, and try to keep up with the latest updates with regards to different elements. So, for instance, I had an article about security on websites, and everyone knows that if you've got a Wix website, you've already got an SSL and you've already got, you know, up to date high quality security, enterprise grade. Well done there. But anybody who is looking at security, previously it was a part of the core web vitals and page speed algorithms systems, and they changed those algorithm systems. We updated that content around that. For instance, we are in the process of doing some more content updates, but we're regularly updating content across the SEO hub, and we tag them as much as possible.
And yeah, a big shout out to our head of SEO editorial, George Wynn, who is not just only a fabulous editor, but a fabulous human being. So in this particular case, we do have an article about how to recover from a Google algorithm update. It's written by Marie Haynes, who is hands down one of the top experts in the world about recovering from a Google algorithm update. So George works very closely with the experts in the industry to make sure that we have content on that particular topic that they are experts in. In this particular case, by the way, the guidance around algorithm updates has not changed. In fact, Danny Sullivan, who's Google search liaison, was recently at Brighton SEO in San Diego, a conference, and said, our guidance hasn't changed around this. We keep saying the same things all, you know, and no one believes us. So that in particular, that post is a great post, even though I think it's written about a year ago, but nothing has significantly changed since then. So have a good look for it on the SEO Learning Hub. Again, a gratuitous plug for the hub. Let's talk about the tools. When I say the tools, the third-party tools, SE Ranking, which is exciting that it's coming. It's a great app, by the way. Someone asked, if I have an SE Ranking account, will my premium account transfer over to Wix?
So at the current phase, it won't, but they are looking to make it as a second feature that it will be. So as a first phase, you have 10 free searches every day directly on Wix. You also have a specific plan for the App Market app. And in the future, they plan on expanding it, though I don't have a specific ETA to give.
Cool. And the same question for SEMrush. If I don't have a SEMrush account, can I use the SEMrush integration?
You don't have a SEMrush account, you can use the SEMrush integration. It's 10 searches free that you get every day, similar for SE Ranking and for SEMrush. SEMrush is already integrated, so if you do have an account on SEMrush, you do have more searches every day inside the keyword research tool.
Yeah. Okay. Site hierarchy. So similar question to the index now, but why is hierarchy important for the for SEO and for search engines?
So It's important for a few things, actually. It's important for SEO, but also for user experience. For both visitors and for search engines, it helps understand the relationship between your different pages. And kind of helps you, like, both users, you know, you always look up at the slug when you're going somewhere and you say, okay, this is related to this, is related to this, and it can help you understand the structure of your website. So Google cares about it in the same way that you, as a visitor, also look at the hierarchy of a page.
Cool. And it can help you to organize your content as well, and can help you to organize your crawl, and can also help to make sure that you don't have like lots of pages all in the same level of navigation. So when Google's crawling your website, it can help them to see like which ones are priority pages, rather than having everything at the same priority. So it's something that's worth looking at.
As a good podcaster, I like a good pivot. Since we're talking about URLs and hierarchy, in the SEO assistant at the page level, there's things in there like changing the URL. And Siri, I think you mentioned that sometimes you could ignore, I think maybe it was not, sorry, I forgot. You could ignore a task. When you're looking at the on-page SEO audit, are there certain tasks that you should ignore? When should you ignore them? And I want to specifically ask myself about URLs. Should I change the URL so that it has a keyword in it if I already have a URL that's live?
So, I mean, it's a low priority for a reason. We currently don't have the skip functionality, but we will add it in the past, so you don't necessarily have to. We for blog, we don't automatically create a redirect for you, but for all of the other assistant integrations, so bookings or stores, when you do create or change the slug to include the keyword, we automatically create a redirect for you. It's really a matter of whether you think it's important or not. I don't, but yeah, we decided that we wanted to give this test to give you the option or a reminder to do it if you do want to.
I'm a non-contrarian, so like I like to have one outstanding issue, and it's usually the URL. If you change the URL, it means you have to do a redirect. So for example, somebody's linking to your blog post that you wrote. It's a great blog post, someone's linking to it, and you change the URL, that link will no longer work. And that link, say, I don't know, it's on ABC News, and they're on their homepage, it could bring in a lot of traffic. So you could theoretically be losing out traffic for the sake of a keyword in the URL, which according to Google is a very teeny tiny light ranking factor. Don't change URLs.
Yeah, I tend to recommend. I mean, within Wix, there's obviously the automated redirects, which came out last year, and is something that you know the team's been really proud of. And you also have your bulk redirect manager, so you can manage them. But my general SEO advice for anyone on any kind of website is if you don't have to change the URL, don't.
By the way, on the hierarchy, because those are editor pages, we automatically implement the redirect, right? So no worries, do what you want.
Yep. By the way, we do redirects not only for slug changes in hierarchy and hierarchy changes, we do that redirect across all of your hierarchies. So let's say you have a parent and then you have a child and a child and a child and a child, and you change the parent slug, we automatically redirect for all of the different children of that page.
For the whole family.
The whole family.
Wow, it's fun for the whole, it's a family vacation. Way less stressful than a family vacation. Speaking of URLs, you mentioned the site inspection tool, which we didn't get into because that was from last year, but I think we should maybe get into it just a little bit, because if you could explain what is a site inspection tool and why do I care? By the way, it's awesome, so you should care.
It's awesome. That's true.
It's so awesome.
So Google Search Console has the site inspection URL. You can inspect one URL in Google Search Console, and it will show you what Google knows about this URL, if it's indexed or not indexed, if it reads correctly the structured data, if you have issues, and stuff like this, which is great. But the thing is that in Google Search Console, you can do it only on one URL, so that you have to go one URL at a time. So what we did is we took this ability and improved it a bit. So in Wix, you can now use the site inspection URL, and with a click of a button, we scan all your URLs of your website, and you get like a full report of all the URLs just with one click. So you don't have to go one URL at a time. You just get a full report of all your URLs and their indexation status and how Google sees those pages. And you also get like on the top, there's a highlight section that will show you where exactly, what are the main things that you need to pay attention to. So it saves you a lot of time, and it gives you like a full picture of your website, which is not available anywhere, I guess.
I've used it on my personal site to handle like pages that were not indexed by Google. And it's like, oh, I didn't even realize, that kind of thing. Someone asked, I just saw it pop on my screen here in the chat. Where do you find it? It's in the site inspection tools in the SEO dashboard. It's one of the tools right there, one of the cards. I think it might be the first or second one. Third one, sorry. It's the third one. And you just need to make sure you're connected to Search Console because of how we pull in the API, but it's a really fabulous tool. By the way, in the SEO Assistant, if you are connected to Search Console, we kind of do that for you automatically. At the bottom of the task, you'll see a status, whether or not the page has been indexed or not by Google. So that is super cool, by the way.
We agree. No.
To be honest, I think
I get no argument here.
There's a lot of great things about the site inspection tool that I think are better than Search Console. Like you can just search for any particular word. So if you have shoes in the URL but not in the title, or in the title but not in the URL, for instance, and you search shoes, it will just pull up the page that's about shoes. And I find that really, really useful and really, really helpful. And so yeah, it's a great tool. And it also shows you in bulk which pages have, rich results, eligibility, and which ones are, mobile friendly. I had a question about mobile in one of the questions before. And yeah, there's some great things there. So have a look around. Don't be afraid of it. I know sometimes people think SEO can be a bit intimidating, but you can look and you can click inspect and it won't change anything. You can just see stuff. So go ahead and have a look and see how to have a look at it. Mordy wrote a great article on it earlier this year or last year. And he goes through lots of different ways you can use it. So do check it out.
Thanks for the shout out.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bulk updates. Someone wrote, love this feature. For bulk updates, can we undo? Optionally, is this covered with save changes? Now, just real quick before I hand it over, the bulk editor, what it lets you do is, let's say I have a pattern set up for all my title tags in my product, and to automatically include the price of the product in my title tag, which if you're running flights, Google said don't do that, by the way, very recently. If, however, your products are not flights and it's just like socks, and you want to include the price of the socks in the title tag, you can dynamically do that in a click with our SEO settings. But let's say for certain socks, you don't want to have the price in there for whatever reason. You can select the particular pages where you want to customize a title tag in bulk with the bulk editor. So now back to the question, is there an undo? If I accidentally took out the price for the socks, but really I wanted the price for the socks in the title tag, can I undo the change that I made?
The short answer is no. And actually, that's also the long answer. Like at the moment, we don't allow an undo feature. We do make sure with you, like, are you sure you want to do the changes that you do? It's not just like as a click of a button and we delete things for you. I do want to mention that right now, the actions that you can do in bulk is either change the index status, or you can revert changes that you've made back to default. So it's title tag, meta description, or index status back to default. So make sure before you delete specific title tags and meta descriptions that you wrote, that you indeed want to delete them.
Okay, moving on to, where'd it go? 1 second, I lost my focus. Focus, wow, perfect pivot, focus keywords. How do I choose a focus keywords? Going back to the SEO ranking, going back to the SEMrush tools, and it's part of the SEO Assistant as well. If I want to pick a focus keyword, let's say in the SEO Assistant, how do I decide? By the way, I think it's really cool that you can toggle back and forth between SEO ranking and SEMrush, because sometimes it's third-party data. They're scraping the web. And sometimes a tool may or may not have a keyword included. And if SEO ranking doesn't have it, you can go to the SEMrush one. Or they sometimes show different data, and you can make a more educated decision because, again, it's third-party data. It's not exactly perfect. Leaving that aside, how do I choose a keyword?
So I think there's
not technically, how do I choose it? You click select, but I mean, like, what goes into the thought process?
So I'm sure that there's like between us a few suggestions that we can give. I can start us off. So if you don't know which keyword to choose, obviously SEMrush and SE ranking are a great starting point. One of the things that we make sure across various different tools, both the setup checklist and the assistant, is to make sure to tell you not to choose a one-worded keyword. You're usually or probably not going to rank for shoes or socks if we continue with Mordy's story, but rather something that's more specific. One of the nice things about using SE ranking or SEMrush is that you get how hard it would be to rank for this keyword. So if your site is just starting off, yeah, probably don't choose a keyword that's really hard to rank for. Choose something that's easier and probably more specific and tailored and relevant to your niche, I'd say, as a first tip.
So yeah, I think you should absolutely take that into consideration and make sure that it's accurate, and essentially that the keyword that you're choosing for your page reflects what's on your page. So if you're not just talking about shoes, you're talking about, you know, Havaiana flip-flops that are green, right? So your keyword is green Havaiana flip-flops, and like let's say they're size 7, they're green Havaiana flip-flops that are size 7. So talk about exactly what it is. Remember that the bots can only understand what you give them. They don't have any other context. So this is something that you should consider as, you know, being part of your title tags, your meta tags, and something that will be able to accurately reflect what it is. Also think about how other people might find you. So if you're using terms that no one else is using, then they're not going to be able to find you. If it's the case that everyone, let's say you call them, I don't know, sliders, right? And somebody else calls them flip-flops. You can have a look in the keyword research tools and you can see sliders or flip-flops. And you can also Google sliders or flip-flops and see which one more accurately reflects the thing that you're trying to talk about. So make sure that your keyword is reflective of what you're actually talking about and what the core of your topic is. I think that is useful. And if you're not sure, Google it and see if you get content that's similar to yours for that keyword, and that will give you more information. I should also say we have a great article called What Are Keywords and How to Choose Them on the Wix SEO Learning Hub. I'm actually just going to share my screen because I want to shout out something else quickly, if you don't mind, Mordy.
Sure.
So
we have one more question we have to get to.
Yeah, this is What Are Keywords and How to Choose One. It's a 3-minute video. It's super simple and will give you a good idea of how to get started with keyword research if you're not sure. So this is super useful. I also want to shout out George Wynn, our head of SEO SEO editorial, has written an article summarizing a lot of the product updates that we've talked about today. That's also on the Wix SEO Learning Hub right now. So if you'd like to dig into a bit more of those and get more information there, you can go to that site and see all of those details there as well.
So real quick, because we're short on time, but I don't want to open a Pandora's box. And now I mentioned the site inspection tool. A few things. One, if you see pages that are excluded from Google's index, that's fine. For example, blog archive pages are not pages that are meant for the web. There's a great article, I think, that came out the other day from Kevin Indig, who used to be on our SEO advisory board, about the size of Google's index. And it's not as big as you think it is. Google doesn't have unlimited resources. Not every page is meant for the web. So like a blog archive page, which is archived, not fit for human consumption, is not meant to be in the index. So we automatically exclude that page for you. So you don't have to worry about that. So if you see excluded, that's very often fine. If you see, like, I don't know, your about page is not in the index, that might be an issue, or a blog post, a page that you really want your users and consumers to see. That's where you need to make sure. The inspection tool doesn't tell you exactly what's wrong. It just gives you the status that Google assigns to it. So Google might say, in the inspection tool, we offer tooltips that help you understand the labeling that you're going to see there. So if Google, for example, says, we discovered it, but we haven't indexed it, meaning it could be if the page is relatively new, they just haven't had it. They know that it's there. They saw that it's there in the sitemap, but they haven't got around to it yet. Or if they, crawled but not indexed, means, oh, we saw it, we crawled it, but we decided not to put it in the index for whatever reason. And there could be a variety of reasons. I will tell you personally, I run a podcast, or ran a podcast, and run multiple podcasts. And on the page, I was very quick to go through notes and just like run through and create a quick summary of the podcast episode. I wasn't careful with my headers. And Google's like, I don't know what you're talking about on this page. And I had to go through and write clearly and crisply what each section of that post was about in my headers, resubmit it to Google, and lo and behold, the page was now indexed. So I'll turn it over to Crystal and Anand and Sheila real quick, but I just wanted to say that it's not necessarily something's wrong, and it does take a little bit of detective work to figure out why a page is or isn't in the index.
Generally speaking, in my experience, if you're having a page that's not being indexed, and particularly if it's a main page, it tends to be that you might need to sort out your internal linking. And that is when you have a link from a page on your website to another page on your website, and make sure that it is a line link. Like you have a piece of text and then you put a link in it, and then so let's say you have like once upon a time, and upon is a link and time is not a link, and it's a piece of text and you have a line link. Make sure you use line links that go to each of your main pages. My general rule of thumb, this is not SEO gospel, but my general rule of thumb is once you publish a page, make sure you have 3 internal links. Like as soon as you publish a page, add 3 internal links across your website pointing to that page. That's my general rule of thumb. If you're a beginner, it shouldn't steer you wrong. And make sure that you've got those pointing to those, because basically it's a web. So when Google crawls the site, they crawl from one page to another, to another, to another, to another. If you have a main page and you do not have links to that page from any other page on your site, Google won't get to it. They don't have any way to crawl to it. So make sure that you have links that go from one page to another. I've seen it before on multiple CMSs where somebody had a homepage and they launched the page and they only had 3 pages that were indexed on the site, and they didn't know why. And I looked at their homepage and they had no links on their homepage. Make sure that you use links. Buttons are not links. Related posts are not the same kind of links. They're different kind of links. So particularly if you're having a page that's stubborn to be indexed, make sure that you're adding in line links across your site, internal line links.
I think line links is a great place to end.
I draw the line there. Fantastic. So yes, thank you to everyone for joining us. And yeah, the line links, regular click links. We have an article about internal links on the hub as well. So please go to there. Thank you. Big round of applause, digital round of applause and actual round of applause to Shira and Inat and the entire Wix SEO team, who are many, many people who do fantastic, wonderful things for all of our over 200 million users. Shout out to Mordy Oberstein for tirelessly campaigning for better SEO on the web. And signing off from me, thank you all for joining us and for geeking out with us on all this fantastic SEO and AI and awesome stuff. Have a good evening. Have a good day. Good day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.